Hello and welcome to the Landscaper Grow Show. My name is Mark. I'm your host. Today I'm speaking with David Romanoff at Evergreen Landscapes in Stokey, Illinois. David, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So I'd love to start by just hearing what services you provide for your customers over in Stokey.
So we offer residential and commercial lawn care, landscape maintenance, snow removal, and a lot of things related to that, power washing, and pretty much anything in that area of service.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you guys were you guys David's Lawn Care, kind of going back even to 2012, and then kind of transition over to Evergreen in 2018?
Yeah, I started out with a lawnmower. That's how I started my business, just mowing neighbors' lawns. And then I studied overseas in Israel for 3 years. And I was thinking, what am I going to do? And so I gave it a shot. I came back. I took a bunch of courses actually on botany and horticulture, pruning practices, and all sorts of landscape classes at the Chicago Botanic Gardens. And I gave it a shot. I saved up some money from high school when I was mowing neighbors' lawns, and I bought my first truck when I was 20 years old, and just kind of grew from there slowly, slow and steady.
I love it, man. How many folks do you have on the team now?
We have about 15 people that work with us.
Wow. Okay. And so you guys are doing lawn care, then moved over into landscaping. I mean, what percentage of the business is still kind of lawn care maintenance type stuff that you guys do versus like new installations or big new projects?
I would say it's about 60% maintenance, and then plus like the enhancements is what we call it, or landscape construction. So like new construction properties that we build from scratch on the landscape side, or enhancements could be like anything from mulch installation to soil installation to seasonal flowers to planters to sod installations, tree installation, planting, redesigning, things like that.
Gotcha. You guys do any like hardscaping, outdoor living type construction type projects?
We do. We sub out most of that stuff because it's a whole different skill set, and our focus is more the softscape than the hardscape.
Okay.
We certainly do new patios, outdoor kitchens, walkways, anything stone related.
Gotcha. What's the difference between the sort of maintenance type projects? I mean, this is maybe just a big open-ended question, but I'm really just kind of curious. I mean, we're always talking with folks we work with in landscaping areas and trying to learn how they're thinking about the business. I mean, lawn care companies and landscape companies are really fairly different in that lawn care, in many cases, is really just doing maintenance type projects. Landscape is doing kind of new installations. Do you have different crews for those different categories of the business, and how is it different kind of running those two different services? One that's like maintenance with, sort of weather and a lot of kind of like very timely, lawns have to be mowed, trees have to be trimmed, versus new installations that perhaps have got a little bit more planning that can happen and to kind of project out into the future.
No, absolutely. There's a lot to landscaping. So we kind of split it up by department. We have our lawn maintenance department and crews, and then we have our turf care crews, which is, the guys that treat the turf, all sorts of, slow release fertilizer, straight fertilizer, grub control, insecticides, fungicides, weed control, things like that. So that's, it's a whole separate department in itself because it's a science really to make grass nice, lush and green. And then all of our irrigation work, we sub out. So we work with a few different irrigation companies that help us with the sprinkler systems and sometimes drainage projects. And then we have our pruning crews, which is a separate crew in itself, deadheading perennials, trimming and shaping shrubs, evergreens, and larger trees. And then we also have a couple of subcontractors that we work with that are arborists, certified arborists. So they do all of our tree work, tree removals, or stump removals, things like that. A lot of times we have to deal with that with, new construction and site planning. And then we have our planting crews, and they're primarily doing, anything from sod installation, grading, and planting trees, shrubs, and garden plants and seasonal flowers.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. Do you guys do snow plowing in the winter?
We do.
Great. Do you have all your own equipment for that, or is it some kind of rental gear that you guys have to get?
So yeah, we own all of our equipment, but
Mhm.
we also do a lot of we work with a lot of subcontractors that help us with the snow removal because you got to have, a big difference between snow removal and landscaping is that, snow removal is an emergency service. It's got to be done within a very tight time frame.
Uh-huh.
And so to be able to have enough resources to get to all of our properties in a reasonable and as fast as possible, you got to have a lot of resources, a lot of equipment, a lot of trucks, a lot of skid steers, and a lot of manpower to get it done in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, gotcha. Serious. And so, I mean, are you able then to keep all of the team or even have some more team come in during winter? Or is that kind of, the slower time in landscaping and so the business kind of slows down there some?
So yeah, that's a great conversation because I don't like the idea of having just like just hiring seasonal help as needed, like every summer having new crews and new employees that you have to do a whole bunch of training. So we basically offer to all of our staff that's been with us for a certain period of time, we offer them a position in the wintertime. And the pay structure is a little different, but it's on the table. And some guys take it, and some guys, they just want to relax, or they will go spend time with their family, or different instances. That's kind of case by case, but most of our people stay on over the winter.
Gotcha. Okay. So Stokey, Illinois, they're north of Chicago. What is you guys kind of area or range that you guys work in
So we
geographically?
work within about 2 hours radius
Hmm.
of Skokie.
Okay, so all of Chicago and even further south. And
Yep.
okay, great. Fantastic, man. Well, I can see that you guys are an amazing company. You guys have got a ton of five-star reviews. Can I just ask you, David? I was curious about the review process. I mean, you guys are just clearly knocking out of the park in terms of great work. Do you also have a process of collecting reviews when jobs are finished? I mean, sort of automatically, with the software or whatever, saying if you could send us over an honest review. Because I just noticed you guys have got a great, assortment of reviews, and sometimes, it seems like a company's really on top of it and sending out, reminders to get those reviews after jobs are finished.
Yeah. First of all, thank you. Appreciate that. We try hard to offer a good quality service. So pretty much we don't really have any system or anything. We kind of just, if we get a compliment from a client and go like, hey, this looks amazing, then we'll be like, hey, by the way, we have a Google business page. If you could drop us a review, here's the link. Thank you so much. We
That's
don't
great.
really have a process to it. We kind of just, if we see that they're happy, then we kind of ask for a review.
Sure. Perfect. Well, great. What's next? What's up here for the next year or two for you guys? You guys still kind of in major growth mode, or kind of leveled off with the team that you're at right now?
Yeah, no, we're definitely looking to grow, looking to add crews. We've gotten really good on the maintenance side of things. We're efficient. We have a good system to it. Our people are amazing, and I feel like we're just kind of slow. My belief has always been in business, slow and steady wins the race.
Uh huh.
So we're not trying to like explode overnight. Just take it one day at a time. Slowly take care of your clients. Bring in more help when you need it. Buy the best equipment you can, and then put trust in your team. That's a big one also. People are scared to put trust in their employees sometimes, but you have to. It's the only way to grow.
I love it. Amazing. Yeah, with a 15 employees organization your size, really getting great employees in and being able to really trust them is absolutely key. Amazing. Well, David, if folks are in the Stokey area, in the Chicago area, and looking for a great landscape or lawn maintenance company to work with, what are some of the best ways to get in touch with you guys?
Just go to our website, evergreenlandscapesco.com, and you could send in a request, and we'll get back with you as soon as possible.
Fantastic. All right, we'll head over to evergreenlandscapesco.com and get in touch with David and the team. Dave, thanks so much for being with us today. Appreciate you being on the show.